Hey YouTube, it's April 7, 2018, and I decided to make this last film, or maybe it's the last film, I can't say, inside my van. My sister-in-law said that perhaps it should be called, I don't need a man, I've got a van. So I don't think that's the same substitute. But anyway, I'm filming this because it's the high winds are up. It's Malibu Beach. I am heading back up to the northwest because it's April 7, 2018. And beautiful day. The sun finally came out. I met my brother and his lady and my sister down here. But I'm either going to be on the Tondaleo site channel or the Lady Always Travels Light, or both. But I wanted to give some information to women who want to do this. They don't have a guy to travel with or a lady to travel with, whatever they're choosing, or pets if you don't have pets, because I don't have any of that. To travel on your own, up the coast, down the coast, anywhere in the United States, and Canada, Mexico, but I don't want to drive in Mexico right now. Somebody asked me to drive down to Cabo, and I said, what? No, thank you. So I have got a list of things to tell you about where women who are over 50 can do this on a shoestring. Basically, I paid about $3,000, $4,000 for this van, which is a Honda Odyssey 2002, and I found it on Craigslist or another site. A really nice family sold it to me, and it was $180,000 on it. But it's working. Hondas can last a very long time if you care for them. I just sold a Honda Civic, a 2004. So I have that. I redid the inside. The two seats in the back are down inside the van. The other two seats are in storage. You can see this waving a little bit in the breeze because I've got my cameras hanging up from my mirror. And I'm going to show you a panorama of where I am. But that's what you have to do. You have to redo the inside. It only cost me about $200 to redo the inside. I have a Coleman cot with a great sleeping bag in the back. It's a twin, and then right next to it is a little table I got at Target or Walmart, and the table's great. I put my different things that I need at night on it. I do have a potty that I got at I think it was Cabela. It was a $25 potty, and I dump it every day, and it can have wood chips in it or kitty litter, whatever you like, but it's not a problem. It's really, really convenient. It's wonderful. It's cheap. I do not use the kitchen in the back because it's just too much to hassle with, and if I was out in boondocking I might use the kitchen, but I go to Trader Joe's or I go somewhere else to get a salad or I get a juice. And so those are some of that's the kind of the basics. But you also, before you go on a trip like this, you need to tie up, and I've gone on a 5-month sojourn to San Diego area, and I've been in Encinitas mostly, Del Mar mostly, and I've been camping free. I call it camping because you're parking your car anywhere you like by stealth. These are double tinted windows, and that's the best way to go. The single tinted, just not enough. People can still see in. So you want that, but in the front I have it open, and I do have a blanket that I put across that's brown that kind of looks like there's nobody in there. And so I've never been hassled in 5 months. I think there was one incident, but I was in a park when I shouldn't have been, and 3 squad cars pulled up, and I have a disabled placard, and they said, oh no, go back to sleep. So I don't know what that was about. So the park was supposed to be closed apparently, but you need to tie up loose ends before you go. Make sure you have very little mail coming. If you do, of course, you can do general delivery, or you can ask whoever's getting your mail to send it to you general delivery. Or I happen to have friends in the area, and a friend was able to take my mail for me, and also my sister-in-law brought it down when she came. But I don't advocate. I advocate having few bills as possible. I only have 3 bills I pay, and I do that by my card or various ways. But just get your bills down, get your business down to very little. Make your life simple. And I'm a minimalist, and I'm a simple liver in that way. And I do say that no pets in a van this size. This is a minivan. I wouldn't put a pet in here, although I would love to put a chinchilla in here, but I don't. I think that the wheel at night would keep me awake, so I'm not going to do that, because I think they're the best pets in the world, by the way, chinchillas. So supplies in the back, I've got a full kitchen, 3 stoves, I've got a month's worth of food, a month's worth of water, and I've been drinking distilled water lately. It's called Simple Truth. You get it at Ralph's, and it's terrific water. It's distilled, and it's good for inorganic metals that could be in your system from the the spraying that we don't know who's doing the spraying up there. They have been doing it since the 60s, as far as I know. And I do a lot of reading and a lot of research. So at night I will have my DVDs from the libraries. So libraries are a big help to you. Get your library card, and you can get that by having a local address on an envelope, or many times they'll just give you a library card just because you have your ID. And so I have about 4 or 5 library cards. That's been helpful. I do have a YMCA membership. I'm really happy to have. I'm grateful, and I can use it anywhere in the U.S. But I got it inexpensively because I am not high income. So you give a financial statement, and that's the way you do it. I do have some issues with various, like the IRS and so forth, but I'm dealing with those by reading common law and reading up on law. I'm doing a lot of studying because I do have different ways that I'm going to do in another film where you can step out of the matrix and you can be a woman born on the land. You don't have to be a U.S. citizen, because a U.S. citizen doesn't have any rights. I'm not sure you know about that, but a U.S. citizen does not have any rights. It is a corporation. You have to read about it. It's time we all woke up and saw what this is. Every city, every county is a corporation, and that's the way it is, and they make money off us. Our birth certificate, when we're born, we don't know that our parents are signing us off just to get out of the hospital, but that's what they're doing. And then there's a bond placed on that, and it could be any number of dollars, but you don't get the money ever. But someone else makes money off of that bond from your birth certificate. So they are making money from our human resources. That's what we are. That's how they make their money. These racketeers, they are making money off of human beings. And they're the what do you want to call the parasites in our society. We're the hardworking people. We're the good, regular, normal people, and they are the psychotic parasites. They're out there. Every society is going to have it, because I study the brain, and the brain is huge and complex, and you're going to have the really, really good and the really, really mentally ill or evil. You're going to have both spectrums going on, and it's going on as we speak, but many of us are fighting against it, those of us that are activists. So they want to give you that information about that. I'm going through my list here to make sure that I've covered some things. Join clubs when you're on the road. Workaway.info is a club that I belong to. I'm working for 2 or 3 families as I head up to Washington, and I'll be working in the home without pay 3 or 4 hours a day, and I get lovely room and board from that family. And I've been doing this around the world. Been to New Zealand, Australia, Switzerland. I've been doing this. And so Workaway is terrific. Also, Couchsurfing is terrific. I have 30 recommendations on there, and I do help out. I do offer to cook or whatever when I do stay over 1 or 2 nights in a couchsurfing situation. That's another great club. Meetup.com is wonderful. Tomorrow I'm going to 2 or 3 events for women on the Sunday, Monday next week, because I'm going to stay in this area here near Malibu, Thousand Oaks area, and I'll be doing things with meetup.com. You just look that up, put a profile together, and you're set. So you can have your life on the road. You should carry $1,000 cash. Well, if not cash, then crypto or some other way that you're keeping monetary or real money. And you should carry that with you. You should never be on the road with just enough money for gas and food. You should have more in case you have a breakdown and you have to, get this van fixed, or you have to stay in an Airbnb, which Airbnb has been pretty good to me. So the only downside of this is it's a lonely situation. You're not traveling with someone, you're reaching out all the time, you're going to coffee shops, you're talking to people. You do have to be a little bit of an extrovert or have that in your personality. And as I say, I'm going to do a film that talks about stepping out of the matrix, getting rid of your IRS situation, because there is a way to do it, because really they're not entitled to your hard labor. That was your labor, and that belongs to you. And what are they doing with it? We don't know. There's a lot of dark ops, a lot of black ops going on. We have no idea where the money's going. People say, oh, it's for the roads. Well, no, look at our roads, folks. So I will get into more of the political aspect of this, and I don't mind telling the truth, because in the end, the truth comes out anyway, right? So I will talk about that later. And as far as your own personal life, you do want to keep your Social Security if that's what you worked for all your life, and so you want to stay on that. So there is a way to do it all, and also to be a traveler in your car. You're not a commerce vehicle. You're not taking people on a ride and getting money from that. You're not an Uber. So you should be able to be a traveler without having to have a driver's license, which takes money from you every year or every 5 years. And then registration takes money as well. But you may not be able to get insurance for your vehicle, your car, without having the registration. So I'm finding out all I can about regular common law, which is the first law, by the way, after the Magna Carta in 1215. That's our first means of law: no bodily harm and no property damage. So if they don't have that going on, if they're just hitting you with codes and statutes, it's not law. It's administrative law. It's admiralty. It's maritime. The list goes on. They have legalese. They have legal fiction. I mean, I'll tell you more about that in another film. But on the upside, it's fun. It's free. You have freedom. You can travel anywhere, and you can be free to come and go as you please, to meet people and to enjoy life. And I choose this rather than being in a bricks and sticks home set, and adorable homes I've seen out there, out in the world. And all my friends have homes, but I prefer to be doing this right now for the time being. And you do have to have good health, and that's where the YMCA comes in, or some other workout place. And eating healthy. I don't have a refrigerator in here, but I do have my salads and my juices and water. And why not just have an apple and some water for one day? Why do you need to eat every day? You don't, because the body doesn't need that much. We're a living organism that can sustain itself for actually 90 days without food, 2 days without water, but something like 90 days without food. So I mean, we're pretty amazing. So with that in mind, I'm going to just do a little panoramic of the car itself. It's a little bit dark, but you can see in the back that there is a bed back there. I'll try to get the light on. Nope, that doesn't help. There's a twin bed out there, and then we have a little panorama of the Malibu area. There's people out there playing volleyball, or they were, and lots of sandpipers on the beach. That was enjoyable to see those, and this is just a panoramic view of where I am and back here. And good to talk to you about all these things. There's so much to know, and that women can do this on their own. I don't know what I'll name this, but it's going to be a title that I hope other women will look into and know that they can be happy and free on the road, and enjoying it, and do it for very little. In fact, I have a pension once a month, and that's what I live on. I do a little bit of work now and then. I am very skilled as a teacher. I'm skilled in a lot of other fields, and I'm an expert cook and so forth. So I've been able to make some other income. But the income that I do have from my Social Security, or pension, I call it, has been able to sustain me. So this has been a very long video, longer than I've ever made. But we're coming up to lucky 13 minutes. Okay. Have a wonderful spring to summer from Connie.